Mets manager Terry Collins watching from the dugout earlier this month. Newly published reports described him as increasingly at odds with his front office as the 2017 season progressed. John Basimer, Associated Press, Philadelphia. In what is likely to be his final weekend as the manager of the Mets, Terry Collins had to deal on Friday with the agitation that often accompanies a disappointing season and, in this instance, made him the target. In several published reports on Thursday and Friday, Collins, who at 68 is the oldest manager in baseball, was depicted as increasingly at odds with his own front office as the 2017 season deteriorated, and more out of touch with his own clubhouse than he had been in his previous 6 seasons in Queens, which included 2 trips to the postseason and 1 to the World Series. Even before the reports emerged, it had become widely assumed that Collins, who is not signed for next season, would not be back, if for no other reason than the Mets felt it was time for a change. But the reports cast a more negative imprint on his expected departure and led Collins to call it a pillion when he met with reporters before Friday night's game against the Phillies. The Mets have had many things go wrong in a season they began with high expectations. There was injury after injury, which ultimately raised questions about the team's training and medical staffs. There was a roster that may have been a little too old, or certainly was until veterans were traded at mid-season, when it was clear the Mets weren't going anywhere. Neither of those issues can be tied to Collins, but the reports, which did not quote anyone by name, said there was also increasing front office discontent this year over how Collins managed games, and, particularly, whether he relied too much on certain members of his bullpen, perhaps risking injuries. When Collins spoke to reporters on Friday, he said the front office did not express displeasure to him about how he handled a bullpen that did seem to lack depth for much of the season. It's part of the job, he said, of the bullpen moves he had to make on a nightly basis. You sit here and make decisions that you think are in the best interest. There are a lot of factors involved. We don't send anybody out to hurt anybody. Never have, never will. The players, training staff, coaches all have input. Asked specifically about the team's closer, Jeurys Familia, who missed over 3 months after undergoing surgery for a blood clot, and the suggestion in one report that the front office felt his overuse of Familia might have contributed to his injury, Collins was flabbergasted. Seriously, Collins said, and then referred to the World Baseball Classic, in which Familia appeared before the 2017 regular season began. With the WBC and all the other factors, I'm the factor. Okay. I'll take it. I'm the manager. Hours later, Matt Harvey endured another tough outing, giving up 4 runs on 7 hits in 4 innings in a 6-2 Mets loss. Harvey's earned run average for 2017 ended up at 6.70, the highest single season figure in Mets history for any pitcher who made at least 15 starts. Follow James Wagner on Twitter @BJamesWinner. A version of this article appears in print on September 30, 2017, on page D5 of the New York edition with the headline "In Mets Lost Season, Collins Defends His Decisions."